everyone, my name is Kate Snow and I am an actress and a creative. So my love for acting came, I guess, from a very young age. I have always loved telling stories, imitating different characteristics and just making people feel something. And that's where my love for acting began. So when I was 16, I left Kenya and I traveled to London where I studied performing arts. I graduated with a BTEC National Diploma in Performing Arts. And then I later went on to drama school in London, in Chiswick, where I graduated with a BA Honours degree in acting for film and television. And so after that period, I graduated and spent 3 years actually auditioning in the UK industry, in the film industry mainly. And then after 3 years, I decided it was time to come back home. I really missed home. So when I moved back home, I was auditioning in the Kenyan market, in the Kenyan scene. And I increasingly got frustrated by the casting process and kind of the disorganization that I experienced personally within this market. And that's kind of what led me to really think about how we could actually develop and improve the casting process and actually help the industry to have a more streamlined process in the way they cast. And that's where my love and my purpose and my goals completely changed. And it became not so much about my acting career anymore, but more so about really trying to make a change in the industry the best way I knew how. And that's where this whole platform and my brainchild, Rafiki Hub, started. Essentially, Rafiki Hub is a casting platform, not an agency, but a platform that basically forms strong links between the talent within the industry and the casting and industry professionals. And it is a creative platform, and we do have a lot of categories on the platform. And essentially, when you join, you are paying a membership to be on this platform and get all the benefits of the platform. And I think later on we'll go into a bit more detail about what each category does and what the platform does for artists as well as casting professionals. The funny thing is that a platform similar to Rafiki Hub actually exists. And I'll just explain that a bit. So when I was actually living and studying and acting in the UK, I was on a similar platform. And the thing about this platform that I thought was genius was that it was so interconnected into the industry, and it was so well recognized and accredited within the industry that it just made it flow, and it made it important to be on this platform. And for example, I could not have an agent in the UK if I wasn't on this platform. So it was very serious, it was very mandatory. So it definitely raised the stakes in terms of really empowering and giving more responsibility to the talent, and also just ensuring that the people who were on this platform were recognized as, you know, the industry's best. So either they had formal training or they had an agent. And so when it came to, you know, auditioning in Kenya, that's kind of where the idea came about, because I did see this need, the need for a streamlined process, the need for a bit more regulation, a bit more structure within the industry. And I just thought this would be perfect for it. And the truth is, there can be more than one casting platform in any market, and there probably is. And the higher, if you're on a platform like this, the higher the chances of you being seen in the industry as an artist. So yes, you know, Rafiki Hub is unique, but there's definitely the need for casting platforms in any market, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was more that would come up. The reason I believe Rafiki Hub is very unique is because it's a huge site. It covers so much. There's so much detail within it. But again, we'll go into that a bit later on. You know, the idea with Rafiki Hub is really to provide a central point for the industry to connect. And so what you have then is you have one side, which is the talent, all the performers, the actors, the actresses, musicians, dancers, who are on the platform and who would sign up. And when they create an account, they have access to basically, all the contacts that hopefully will be on the platforms, in the near future. But they also have the opportunity to actually take responsibility as an artist. And one thing we got taught in drama school was that this industry is very volatile, and it's not going to be easy, and you can't just sit back and let things happen. You have to actively go out there and seek work, trying to get training or developing your skills or your craft. I trained for 3 years as an actress, but to this day, I know that I completely have to keep on. So I just have to keep developing my craft, even 3 years, after training. It's an ongoing process as an actor. So what we're trying to encourage with Rafiki Hub is for actors and these performers to take responsibility of their careers, because at the end of the day, you've chosen this career. It's not easy, and I think it's important for us to be very realistic about what is going to be required, the sacrifices that might have to be made, and just the effort that needs to be put in to increase your chances of, making it, So as an artist, you are able to have your Rafiki Hub profile, which has everything that a casting professional will need to know when they're looking to cast for a project. Anything from your skills to your credits, which is incredibly important, and also your headshots, show reel and audio reel. So you will have the ability to actually upload all of your previous work, all of your show reels, your audios, in case a casting professional needs for you to send these things in. And then once you actually have your completely built profile, when you get called for auditions or castings, or you ask to send in your photos or your measurements, it just makes it so much easier and more professional as an artist and a performer to be able to present a Rafiki Hub profile with everything that they need to know that looks professional to these casting professionals. And so you can actually just send that link to them, which is actually recognized. This CV essentially would be recognized worldwide. And so, yeah, I think it's just about empowering the performer and holding them responsible for updating their profile once they've taken new headshots or once they've completed a production. They can actively keep going on there and updating their profile, and it just saves automatically. On the other side of the platform, we have the casting professionals, and when they create an account, they are able to access a huge database of performers, from, again, dancers to musicians, to actors and actresses, and also independent performers who are a bit less experienced. And instead of them calling an audition for 200 people, and half of the people that they see maybe don't fit the part because they don't look right for the part, and on the other hand, the other half maybe don't have quite that level of acting ability that they need. So essentially, when they get a casting breakdown from their client, they can go onto the platform and specifically search for what they're looking for. If their casting breakdown says they need a 6-foot tall male with black hair and who can play the piano and do taekwondo, for example, they can actually specifically search for all of these traits, and the database will be filtered out, so they're left with, let's say, 20 to 30 people who fit this brief. And from there, they're actually able to call those people in, those shortlisted candidates in for an actual audition now to see their acting ability. So not only that, casting professionals can also create their own castings on the platform. All the fields that are required that are necessary are there for them. And so essentially, we're trying to provide a cheaper, more time-efficient process in the casting process, and also just provide that central point of connection so people can connect, they can cast, and then they can create. Also, as much as we have all of these things, we do have, which we're actually working on, a performers corner. And our goal really, is not just to provide this connection point for the industry, but we really, really strive, and we're really, really, it's very important for us to add value to the industry and to the performers within the industry. So we have our performers corner, and we've actually been working and partnering with some amazing creative organizations like Mau Mau Arts and Youth Theatre Kenya, and of course Creatives Garage. But we're looking to work together, collaborate, and devise workshops for less experienced actors as well as the more experienced actors, so that they can come together. We can teach them about the basics in acting and acting technique and skills, as well as voice work, movement, improvisation, all of these different qualities and crafts that as an actor you just need to know. And if we want to be competitive and if we want to appeal to an international market, I really believe that this is the way forward. And it is about adding value to the talent, because there is no formal training at the moment. I was very lucky enough to be able to go and train, but my purpose, I see, and my goal is to try and educate and try and provide that training opportunity for the talent and the artists. We just had our first workshop earlier this week, and we're looking to continue providing these workshop opportunities and these acting classes and acting training for the rest of the year with these different organizations. Some of the challenges that are affecting our industry are no recognized formal training, so that lack of further skill and development training. I would say a lot of talent exploitation. A lot of talent are not paid or rewarded adequately, I would say. And also just that, I guess, a sense, especially for myself, a sense of feeling like there's a governing body there to protect you and to protect your rights. There might be some, but I think that they need to have a bit more force and a bit more intention with what they're doing. I would also say that there is a bit of a misunderstanding between the differentiation of roles within the industry. So you have different, casting directors and agents sort of overlapping their roles, and it just shouldn't work like that. Let me just say that. And I think also, there is a little bit of a lack to work together. I feel like, unfortunately, it just feels like everyone just wants to be out there for themselves, whereas I believe and I know that an industry cannot work succinctly and it cannot flow if all the different organizations and all the different parties don't work together. As an actor or as a performer, if you're starting out and you don't have a lot of experience and you don't have a lot of credits and you don't know a lot of people, I would say definitely in your first few months, it's a great idea to do, pro bono work. Number one, just so that you can get a bit of experience being in front of camera, being around a crew, identifying the different equipment and how they work. Number two, I think networking. It's very important when you're starting out. So trying to get involved within the industry, meet new people, meet directors, producers, crew members, and just engaging in that industry, I think is important, especially when you're starting out. And I would say also, if you don't have training, or if you haven't really had any training at all, or attended workshops or anything like that, then I would say keep doing that, but also put yourself out there at least for a short period of time when you're just starting out. But then after that, I would say if you have more experience, if you feel more confident, then definitely make sure you have a rate card. The Kenya Actors Guild is supposed to have a rate card, which the productions and the industry is supposed to follow. So I would definitely say educate yourself, inform yourself on what that is, so that you know what you can be charging people fairly, but also, fairly for both parties. For me personally, I would say, if it was me, I would stick with charging a basic studio rate, a basic studio fee. So that's my fee for the day. So for example, you can say that's, I guess depending on the hours, like if it's like an 8-hour day, I would say anywhere from 20 to 35,000 shillings. That's personally, this is what I would charge. And then more importantly, I think is one thing we have to understand is that we're not necessarily getting paid for our time, which is what I think we mistake. A lot of models and a lot of actors mistake a lot. And that's how we get exploited, is because if you think about it, we're not just being paid for our time, we're being paid for our image, right? So I would say a studio rate, a day rate, and then I would also say from there a buyout fee, or royalties in another way to say it, but a buyout. So depending on how many years or months the production is going to run for, I would say we need to encourage, fighting for buyouts so that we are getting paid when our image is being shown and every time it's being shown. I think we have this misconception about what acting is and what being an actor or an actress means. First of all, I'm hands down here to tell you that it's not as easy as it seems. And just because you have been in a production or you've been in a few productions doesn't necessarily mean that you're an actor or an actress or that you're a performer. There is a lot more elements and behind the scenes things that go on for you even to be able to call yourself an actor. Okay, and I mean with the workshops, with the training and all of these things. And I think people really just have to get serious and realistic about what they actually want. And if you want to be an actor or if you want to be a performer, then it should not be just about the money. It should not just be about the fame or whatever it is. It's a whole talent, it's a whole art, it's a whole craft. And unfortunately, the market that we're in doesn't necessarily support us in terms of a lot of things, in terms of our development, in terms of our exploitation, knowing what's right, what's wrong within the industry, knowing your rights as a performer. And so I would say, if you want to take this seriously, you have to be the one to go out and seek this knowledge and to seek this so that you're not being exploited, that you're not being taken advantage of. Our industry really, really needs to decide what we want to do from here forth, because we've been doing business the same way for 30 years. And we are at a point now where we have the opportunity to really, really consider where we can take the industry to. And we just have to decide, do we want to stay where we are or do we want to evolve? And when we evolve, it means working together. It means collaborating. It means taking responsibility as an organization or as an individual for your role within the industry. If you don't know what your role is in the industry, go and find out what your role is in the industry. Go and research. Don't just walk into a role without knowing what you're actually doing, because you're not going to help anything. So we have to be very clear with what we want and where we want to go. And there's so much interest, there's so much talent, there's so much potential in Kenya, in all sectors of the arts industry. And I think we have to come together more. We really have to come together, and we have to stop making it about ourselves and stop trying to get up on one person. We have to, in order for an industry to really, really see the fruits of what we're trying to achieve, we have to work together, and we have to trust each other, and we have to be accountable to each other. And I just wanted to say as well, as being a performer, that don't expect things to happen. Don't expect to be called up for an audition. Don't expect to, be called in for a role. You have to actively go and seek things out, because this industry is so saturated that you can't rely on anyone else but yourself, and you can't expect to just get roles and rock up to roles and just kind of wing it, because that is not the way I see the industry to be, and I don't see being an actor that's not how it should be. Like, there is a lot more pride to that role. Already, so much of the time as performers, we really get put down for the career choice that we've decided. People don't think it's a serious thing. People think it's a hobby. People don't see it as a career. And I've definitely experienced that. And that's why I really get frustrated when people do just kind of call themselves an actor or a performer and they have no idea, they haven't trained, they haven't even seeked out to go and better their skills, better their technique or anything like that. And I've heard time and time again from casting professionals that, actors we think that we can just be an actor. It doesn't just happen like that. Maybe you have some sort of talent, yes, but you need to develop that craft. It is a skill that needs to be constantly developed. And so, yeah, I would just say, like, it's not an easy thing. It's not a walk in the park, Like, if you want to take this seriously, then you have to do more. You have to challenge yourself more. You have to encourage each other, like go to workshops together, like create. Like, we have so much talent here. Create things, like collaborate with people, because that's the only way then that will grow. We've been live for 6 months. There's actually a free trial period, which is going to continue up until the end of the year. So it's free to sign up as a industry professional or as an artist. And I think what we'll do is we will just do a little bit of a demonstration as to how to sign up. But I mean, www.rafikihub.com. You can sign up, you can start building your profile, you can start sending that out to casting professionals, and you can start getting involved in all of the workshops and the trainings that we are providing. What we're doing now is we're trying to get as many casting professionals, production houses on board, so that not only are they, so that they can use this platform as a tool to create their own castings and to send them out, but also for them to be posted onto the platform so that they, like, when they're open castings, then anyone who's on the platform essentially can apply, and then those casting professionals can receive the submissions. But as we get more and more castings come through, as we speak and collaborate and work with more casting professionals, production houses, then those castings will be put up on the platform for people to apply to. If you're joining as an actor or an actress, then you're recognized as a bit more experienced. So you'll have to be able to provide 3 professional completed credits in productions. And yeah, so if that's what you're signing up as, then you have to provide those credits just so that we are assured that you have a bit more experience. If you don't have that much experience and you are interested in acting and you don't know what to do, you don't know where to start, then you can sign up as an independent performer. And what that means is that you're recognized as an artist who has less experience and has no training or any formal training. And so what we're really trying to do with independent performers is, schedule those specific workshops tailored to independent performers, and then also the ones tailored to the actors and actresses. So as an independent performer, you don't need to add your credits. You just need to sign up, just like you would sign up to any, I guess, social media online platform. So it's pretty simple. But once you've signed up, then yeah, we look forward to welcoming you to the Rafiki Hub community.